What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 15 different altcoins today. If you guys could hit that like button and subscribe, that's always greatly appreciated. I do requests like this 3 times a week. For me, it's on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, but on the charts, it would be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, technically. It'd be very early on the beginning of those days. For me, it's late at night, but anyways, hit that like button, subscribe if you could. The first two are for Mischiefism. Mischiefism, I'm sorry, man. I forgot. I don't know how. I thought I wrote these down, but I guess I airballed them. I watched my last request video, and they weren't on there, so we're going to put you at the top of the list. SUSHI and SHIB for Mischiefism. We're going to talk about RUNE and ASTRO for the #1 wrecked Babu. Blue Zell and ABT for BL Spiegel. Solana for Mint Chomi Halov. OGN and Spell and POLS for Go Viral or Die, XTZ for Keltinger, Ape for Plants and Toys, Mana and Sandbox, what a pair, for BBL, and HBAR for Some Guy. And that's the list, you guys. So 15 coins, I believe that is 15 coins, and yeah, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna pause the music. Let's go. Looking at SUSHI right now on Coinbase, we're on the weekly time frame. If we're looking at the RSI, we can see that we do have a, it is a lower low with a lower low. That's not necessarily a good look, but it is oh so slightly lower, where this is dramatically lower. I don't know. You are finding support at your 40 area, which is a good thing in itself. Your weekly RSI doesn't look too bad. This disgusting drop happened, that's there, but I mean, where you're at in the price too. If we were to put like a line here, you're holding support. This does look like an inverse head and shoulders pattern, man. It's actually, this actually, the one thing that makes it not look like an inverse head and shoulders pattern to me is the volume, right? The volume is not, it's not all there. Maybe if we go to USDT, I wonder. Oh, I need to, did I pause I did pause the music, okay. No, the volume, it's still not the exact way that it should look, but I've seen head and shoulders patterns work out without having perfect volume. It does look pretty damn perfect, I must say. It does look pretty damn perfect. At any rate, whatever, regardless of my thoughts on it, it could be an inverse head and shoulders, it could not be. You still have this left ridge here, a kind of delve in the middle, and then a right ridge, I would expect that the right shoulder is going to be smaller than the left shoulder, because with a look like this, who knows if this were to be an inverse head and shoulders, who knows when it started. Did it start back here? There's an argument to be made to say yes, it did, and in which case the symmetry might suggest that this doesn't move up until August. And with the right shoulder, it can be smaller. It doesn't have to be the exact same size, but you generally do look for symmetry. Or did this shoulder start like here? And then you've got your head, like, I don't know. And then we're pretty close to symmetry, actually, and we would call for a breakout soon. It's hard to say. No matter how you look at it, though, we're definitely still finding support at previous areas of support. I do believe that was the low for Uniswap. Rejected your 123 weekly moving average there. And you had a little bit of a pullback. Whatever, that's okay. Let's look at the low here, relative low to the relative high. 618 golden ratio hit, tagged it. I don't think you're going lower. I really don't. I think that you've found your low. And soon, if not this month or next month, maybe July, I would think that you would start moving up to break out to highs that you haven't seen since the last bull market, honestly. But time will tell. Let's look at the daily. Let's look at the daily and see what you're doing. Yeah, the daily RSI looks constructive, bro. It looks really nice, actually. You've yet to see the strength of this move, like from this range down here, right? Like, you've yet to see, this is nice, but you've yet to see your breakout move, which might be coming any day now, any week now. At the rate you're going, it could still be like toward the end of this month, the beginning of next month, beginning of June, that you really start to see the strength of this move come into fruition. But it's not here that you get those breakout moves. It can happen, but generally, right? Like, if we look at this back here, you were consolidating. The RSI was looking nice, looking productive, but you really only started to move up when you were above the 50, when you were above the 60, when you got overbought. And you get overbought on your first notice here. That's a nice little pump, but the nicest of the pumps happened after you'd been in the overbought zone and out of it for quite some time, still being productive. So what I'm trying to say by that is perhaps you still wiggle and waggle for the next week to 2 weeks upwards, upwards. I do think you're at the bottom of this little like consolidation range right now. But potentially starting next month, sometime next month, I would think that you would see a breakout move that could start your journey really to, like I said, highs that you haven't seen since 2021. Or 2022, at least, prices that you haven't seen since then. Let's just assume from high to low that that's your range. 236 hit, 382 hit, you're bouncing here. Your next immediate target would be $1.45 to $1.56. And once you break this high, you've got targets at, look at that. Look at how beautiful that is, man. You put a line right here at the lows, comes right in line with that 1272 right there. The 1618, kind of, yeah, at a place where you found support there too. Yeah. Just a moment's worth of support, 1 week's worth of support that brought you a 18% pump. But hey, the 1886 all the way up here, kind of a significant area as well. The 2272, maybe the 2618. I don't normally do that, but this is a kind of smaller range, so we can look for those deeper extensions. 2886 showing some respect. I don't know. Essentially, anywhere from like $2.80 to, I would say, about $8 is on the table for the foreseeable future, right? And it might not happen in the coming weeks, but in the coming months, I think you could really see that happen. So sushi is looking pretty damn good, and I'm spending way too much time talking about that. I think it's going up. That's all I got to say. I did a little bit more of an in-depth analysis than I should have, but if I do it at this rate, I'm gonna be making a 2-hour video on 15 requests. So I'm gonna try to move through these next ones a little bit faster. Sushi's looking good. Sushi's looking good. That's basically all I got to say. Looking at the relative low here to the relative high, beautiful, beautiful, holding that 382, man. It really is. I thought SHIB would be going lower by now. I'm surprised that it hasn't, and it probably still does, to be completely fair. Weekly RSI is in a nice spot though, man. I don't know if you were to go against what my beliefs were, which is that you would be working your way back down to this 61869 area, if not at least the 0.5 to the 618 area, which is at about 4017 to 40138. If you're not going to do that, this might be a bull flag, and you might be working your way back up to all-time highs, like really, really soon. If this plays out the way that it potentially looks like it could, you'd essentially have to do it like this week or next week, and you couldn't go lower. If you went below 402186, if you close below that on a weekly basis, you can go below, but don't close below it on a weekly basis. If you do, then that negates any kind of bull flag breakout to the upside that you would have, at least right now. Maybe it doesn't negate it completely. Maybe your flag is just not all the way formed. Maybe you have more to form and then you break out, stuff to watch for. But you are, man, right here in your weekly RSI. I do like this. I like this look a lot. Pairing that with the price action, holding that 382, I like that a lot too. Let's look at the daily for Shiba. The way that it's working with these fibs, I would think you want to go lower. Rejecting the 382 time and time again. You got it's like a bearish descending triangle. I'm not. The daily is kind of holding me back from being bullish. You do have a rather neutral RSI. It's not bullish, it's not bearish necessarily, right? You did get oversold, where here you're rejecting the 60, which isn't necessarily a good look, but hey, you could, over the coming week or two, you could start to do better. If you can close above, what I'll say about Shiba, besides all this back and forth, maybe this, who knows, 40217, if you close below that, or what was it on the, let me see. If you close below 40218 on a weekly, you're going lower. If you can close, I would even just say a couple days above 4029, if you can close above that line, then you're good, man. You're probably breaking out and inevitably working up to your all-time highs, genuinely. Because that's how you would measure a move like this, right? That's one of the easiest patterns. Any person getting into technical analysis, we all know what bull flags are. The only thing that maybe not all of us know is how to place the measure move, right? We know how to measure it, but do you measure it from the lowest point of the flag? That's what I do. Do you measure it from the breakout point? That's what some people do. You know, either way, it's just a conservative target versus a not conservative target. It's still a measure move either way. So I don't know, but that conservative target would put us right at our all-time highs. So it's definitely a bullish look. But again, if you close below that 40218 line, then you're probably just going to be working your way down to 40138 to 40112, somewhere in that area. Because rejecting your 236 after finding support on your 382 time and time again, I guess you haven't rejected the 236 time and time again, but you have, I guess, here and then here, and whittling your way down to the 382. It doesn't look good. So all that to say, I said I was going to do this one quick, but I'm not. Or at least it doesn't feel quick to me. All that to say, if you can kind of break this trend and get above this line, good. And if not, if you close lower than this line, which I'd say you're closer to, not by much, but you are closer to the yellow line, bad. And not even that bad, right? Just opportunities later down the line. It'll work its way down. You'll find support, and then boom. Then you'll see that run inevitably. When you break this, I would assume you're going to run for all-time highs in a very short amount of time. But does it happen? Does it happen within the next month? Does it happen by the end of this year, or maybe in the beginning of next year? That's a hard question to answer. So just pay attention to those key levels, and that'll give you a kind of more immediate heading. Looking at the weekly, I'm bullish. Looking at the daily, I'm not convinced. Looking at the 4-hour, a little bit bearish. So the 4-hour can change in a week's time. So, but time will tell. That's Shiba. Let's talk about RUNE for number one wrecked Babu. Let's see here. On Binance, sure. Right, RUNE, isn't this Thor chain or whatever? Higher lows, lower lows, looking good. I think you look good, RUNE. I think you found your low. I think you're working your way up, man. I think so. I want to put a line here at your close. Kind of an area you found support before. Let's put a line at this close over here. Yeah, like resistance, not really too significant. Okay. Let's see. All-time high to the relative low. Battling it out with that 61869 area. It's so weird. It looks so weird to me. You don't normally see this kind of maneuver get above it as dominantly as you did and then reject back down below it. That doesn't normally happen. Some people might be looking at this and assuming that this is a head and shoulders pattern. It's not. It doesn't look right at all. The volume actually kind of looks right, but it's not. It's not. It's a weird head and shoulders pattern if it is, man. It doesn't. I can see where you're construing it from, but I wouldn't consider this a head and shoulders pattern at all. I think actually what you're doing is you're about to work your way up. You're kind of in this like weird little tilted upwards consolidation phase, if that even exists. And it does exist. I just mean for this chart. Yeah, I think you're working your way up. Where are you going to go? Looking at the daily here, you're above your green line. Nice to see. Green line is sloping back upwards. You look bullish on your RSI. Yeah, I think you could move a little bit lower from here first. Just a little bit. Maybe back to the green line, back to about $6.10, $6.15, somewhere in that area. Maybe $6.30, I don't know. Somewhere in that area, and then move up. So don't get discouraged if you move from the current price, $6.76, down to $6.30 or $6 even. Don't be too discouraged. 4-hour looks fine. The daily looks fine, man. You might, I don't know, you might be moving up rather immediately. Time will tell, but let's just see. Relative high, nope, that's not the high. Relative high to low. You look good, bro. You look really good. I honestly think if you move down from here, you're gonna hold that 6.26 area, $6.26. You're gonna probably go right there. Just look at how it's so good. It's so good. You literally rejected this area, came back down, found support on your 0.69, rejected the 382, found support on your 236, rejected the 0.5, not rejected, but you found resistance. If you found support on the 382, you'd definitely be working your way up to $7.90. And with this kind of look, just this kind of respect already, depending on how you act with this area, of course, that still remains to be seen. But I'm pretty confident you're going to move up to $15 to $21 soon, man. Very soon, honestly. Thorchain, RUNE seems like it's been holding up better than most cryptos recently. Honestly, it's just consolidating, man. It's just consolidating. Yeah. How's this done? I want to know, actually. I want to know how you've done versus Bitcoin. You've done good. Oh wait, let's go to the end of the cycle. Hold on. Let's go. Because this is just out of my own curiosity here. Dude, you've done good. Oh, no, you haven't. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So Bitcoin actually, no, it wasn't the end of the cycle. My bad. The beginning of the cycle is what it's supposed to be. I got the Novembers confused. November 22 is what we want. Yeah, like around there. Wow. Thorchain, RUNE, you guys, is actually one of the few coins that has done better than Bitcoin. When I say few coins, I mean, like, guys, I did an analysis about a month ago, maybe a few weeks ago, comparing a basket full of cryptocurrencies, and all your favorite coins, man, all of them got thrown in there, all the big ones: Shiba, Doge, AVAX, Solana, which was also one of the ones that was actually positive. But I took like all the top 100 coins that I feel like I could have and talked about them. I didn't talk about all 100 coins, but I talked about at least like 20 to 40 coins, and there was only 4 coins that did better than Bitcoin. RUNE, if it was in that analysis, would have been one of those coins that did it, and that it's not doing tremendously better, but I mean it's still doing good. I mean it's still not bad, honestly. Better than most of the market, that's for sure. So at any rate, with that little detour in mind, I definitely could see RUNE moving up to that, what was it, $15 to $21 range over the coming months. That's my thoughts. $15 to $21, yeah. Right there. Says it all. That's RUNE. Let's talk now about ASTRO. Might have to look into what's RUNE's market cap on that note, man. Because seeing coins that have done better than Bitcoin this whole bull cycle so far, that's not a small accomplishment on any cycle. 2.2 billion, it's a little bit high, but that's still not too bad. You might not see a 100x with this coin, but you could see a 50x. You really could. That's good money wherever you're at, man. I'll take a 10x, 50x, hell yeah, I'll take a 50x. ASTRO, next one. Babu, that one's looking like a winner, man. Let's see. It's between SUSHI and RUNE right now as far as the winners go. Let's do MEXC, ASTRO. I'm assuming this is the one you want. It's a very odd looking chart. Does it exist for a longer period of time? No. Why does it look different here? Is it just the way, let me see. It looks way different, doesn't it? Astroport Classic. Versus Astro Swap. Oh no. Babu. We have a problem. Is it Astro Swap or Astroport Classic? And is it the same thing? If it is, hold on. They're not the same price. I don't know. Babu, you're gonna have to rectify that, man. In the Discord, or lady, I don't know if you're. I would assume you're a guy. Most people in crypto are males, but there are the outliers that are there as well. But at any rate, Babu, if you could specify which one. I'm gonna make sure that you didn't, because sometimes I do read through things and I kind of miss things. Let's just see here. Where are you at? You just said Astro, so I would be happy to do the analysis on it. I just don't want to do 2 or 3 analyses and it still not be the right one. So just specify, and I'll do that on the next video. I might even make a video about it tomorrow, just for you, which isn't a normal request day, but if it's not tomorrow, then it would be the next day. At any rate, I'm going to put it in the next request video if I don't do it tomorrow. So that's Astro for now. We'll to be determined on that one. Blue Zell for BL Spiegel. There were a few people that had questions about this one, actually, because we had that recent drop, right? I haven't been looking at the charts much lately, you guys. It's been busy with my daughter and my family. It's been hard to be on my phone or look at charts really too much, do anything that like involves a lot of thought. So I actually missed this. I didn't see this yesterday or last week. Was it? It was last week. Yesterday, the day before. A lot of people are wondering what my thoughts are on Blue Zell, because I've been very bullish on Blue Zell. Not like very bullish immediately, just bullish over the long term. I do want to say, to kind of correct that, I have been saying that we could move down here. I'm not expecting it, but we could. I've been saying that like throughout this whole range. So even here, yes, we could move all the way down below 20 cents, below 18 cents even. I forgot somebody. I would give you a shout out. Somebody who comments all the time on YouTube, a homie. I can't remember. I would give you a shout out, but you said, what do you think of this? And I said, or what would you say about that? And I said, opportunity. That was like the one worded response, because I think this is a great opportunity. You're buying at the bottom of this range here. You're buying literally right at the bottom. Not financial advice. And if it goes down lower, you can always buy more at cheaper prices. You guys, Blue Zell, the fact that it's not even worth $1 yet just screams opportunity. Like, even if it was up at 50 cents, 60 cents, whatever, I would still say it's a good buy. This is one of those coins that I genuinely wish I had more of. I'm a little bit disappointed in myself for not buying it sooner. I really do like Blue Zell a lot. Enough about my personal stuff, though. Let's actually do some analysis. All I'm saying with this drop is I'm not worried about it. Blue Zell was one of those coins. It was either the second or third place coin in that Bitcoin comparison video that outperformed Bitcoin since the beginning of the bull run. So I'm not worried about Blue Zell at this point in time. I'm not worried about it. Yes, the RSI is looking a bit weaker. It's dying off a little bit. I mean, technically, I wonder. I'm just curious here. Look at that. Like, if we were in line with these lows in the RSI, I guess we're not too in line, are we? Nope, never mind. We could go a little bit lower and still be in line, but that might not even be something. I mean, that's just a weird kind of lows to go off of. But I'm just saying we could. We are at that 40 area where it is a possible area to bounce, though it doesn't look like Blue Zell bounces. It did right there directly off it once, twice. Okay, rejected it a couple times. It's more the area. It's not the specific zone. So we could have another red week this week. There wasn't a lot of volume on that drop. Let's do the USDT pair to double check it. Yeah, not a lot of volume at all. That's the biggest candle, you guys, that we have seen since February. It's one of the biggest candles we've seen like this whole cycle, and it came with very small amounts of volume. So, you know, this candle was really big, very small amounts of volume. It did not promote anything. We've been moving sideways. So I'm going to assume the same thing. We're at the bottom of the range. This makes me want to buy some Blue Zell today, actually, and I just might. So I'll let you guys know if I do buy some more, but looking at the weekly RSI, it wouldn't be crazy if we found our low here, if we literally bounced here. Looking at the price action, it wouldn't be crazy if we bounced here. Looking at the daily RSI, which probably won't be of much help because we've been moving sideways. I mean, we're oversold right now. As it could go lower, it might not. I don't know. Decent volume on the daily, I suppose, breaking out. Maybe the 4 hour will help a little bit. 4 hour doesn't look good at all, man. 4 hour looks disgusting. We might bounce from here a little bit up to like 32.2 cents. We're at 27.9 cents now. We might move up to 32.2 and then move lower is what this is looking like to me. I don't know. It's hard to say for Blue Zell, man. I could just as easily believe, and it's kind of the same as it's been, but I could just as easily believe that we're going to hold this line as I could believe that we're going to go down to this one or below it even. So if you're like me and you want to buy some BLZ, like if you had $1,000, you know, just as a nice round number, maybe put a couple hundred in here and then layer it down as it goes. And if it doesn't go down and we bounce up a little bit, same thing, couple hundred, whatever. Or maybe intensify those buys, 300 and 300, and then an extra 100 wherever. I don't know. Or, you know, sometimes too, if you're thinking about buying and it just takes off without you, just accept that it took off without you. Don't chase, because you never know when it could pull back, and then look for another project, wait for the next pullback or something like that. But I do think Blue Zell's got a lot of potential, guys. Don't sleep on this one. It's worth 27. It's almost worth 28 cents right now. I think it could genuinely, I believe it could be worth $100 by the end of the cycle. And if not $100, tens of dollars at least. That's still insane gains at any rate from the current price. So I definitely think this is a 100xable coin, and if it goes lower, even more so. So get it while it's hot, man. I'm looking at this and I'm trying not to put my bib on, not get my fork and knife ready to eat. 1 second. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's see here. We are talking about ABT now, because I don't really have an opinion on Blue Zell. It could go lower. I could see it going lower. I bet you find a bounce here, but does that bounce sustain? Does it keep you in this range? Does it go up to like the halfway point and then reject, or like this previous area of support and then reject and then you go lower? Any of those are possible. I don't really know with this thing. I feel like anytime I call for prices to go lower, it goes up. So let's just say prices are going to go lower. We're going to go below 20 cents, you guys, and we'll wake up tomorrow completely engulfing last week. I don't know. That's Blue Zell. I hope that helps. And if it doesn't, my best non-financial advice that I could give would be, it's at a relatively good area to get in. I'm genuinely considering buying some more. I'll let you guys know if I do. Arc block, ABT. Yep, that's the one. Looking at it here, daily RSI, looking good. I like the daily RSI. Bearish divergence, sure, but it's fine. It's looking resilient. It's looking really strong, actually. Let's just see. Yeah, you might continue higher immediately, or you might move sideways. Let's just see. 1618. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if you moved sideways, if you kind of consolidated in this range a little bit, and then you saw a breakout maybe sometime next month or at the very end of this month. So that's my thoughts on ABT. I think you're kind of going to move sideways probably between the range of, let's say, $5 to about where you're at now, like $4.20, $5 and $4.20. You're probably going to be range bound for the coming week to weeks, is what I would think. You had your breakout move and now you're consolidating. Most of the time whenever you move up and you consolidate, it's a downward consolidation. You continue to move up, right? But you can move up and then consolidate at like a slight incline and then move up higher. That does happen. It's less common, but that kind of looks like what you're doing now. So that's my thoughts for ABT. You're just consolidating kind of in an upward fashion, but I don't think you're going to revert back down here. I actually think that you're going to hold this area pretty well. So if you go below 420, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. You know, I doubt 380 would break, but anyways, that's ABT. Solana for Minchomi Halov. I think I'm pronouncing that right. If not, it's really fun to say. Anyways, so moving up, Solana moving up a little bit with no volume. That's okay though. You don't need it necessarily right now. 61869 zone. This is the area to be tried at. You are at your overbought zone. If you were to reject here, if you were to get another red day, if today were to engulf back to the downside, you're only up 2% today, so that's not a lot to ask for. If you were to reverse this and come down and close below the 618, this wouldn't look too good, at least for the immediate terms. You would likely pull back to about 157. Yeah, 157, if not 147. If not lower, like you genuinely could go lower. Lower prices, I want to be clear for Solana, guys. Lower prices than 118 are still on the table. And they're really on the table until we start doing some more positive things. You're really close. We're really close to that, but you just need to get into this zone, man. Get into this zone. Make me consider that that's not a low anymore. But going up to your 618 area and rejecting and going lower, that's a common, that happens. That happens a lot, actually. So at this point in time, I wouldn't expect it. I would say you're more likely to find support in this area. That's the more kind of common outcome. But still a decent chance that you could go lower. Still a decent chance. Something to keep in mind, that's for sure. It depends what you do. It really depends on what you do with the next couple days. Because if you close this day red, I'm convinced, I'm going to give you some conditions. You're at 174 right now. If you close today red, you're going to 155, 157, somewhere in there, or 145. Let's say 145 to 157, somewhere in that range. If you close it green, you're working your way slowly but surely, probably back up to about $200 or higher, to new all-time highs even. And I say slowly but surely. This is the daily chart. It could take weeks, months. It could take time before you see new all-time highs. But I'd be more convinced that you don't find that. You don't go lower than that low. So genuinely speaking, even with today being green, what I would look for, what I'm calling for, I guess, right now would be support either here on the 50 or at the 382. I would normally look for that 382 as my kind of expectation, but being that you had resistance here at the 50, it was an area that you just broke out of, I would kind of anticipate that you hold that 155 to 157 area, maybe 158 even, but whatever, a couple dollars, give or take. The 4 hour looks fine. I mean, I don't think today will close red at that rate. I would say it looks like it wants to go down just based off of this, but I mean, to be fair, the 4 hour actually looks kind of good. Maybe you don't. You're moving up without volume though, like not making it easy on me. You look good, man. I was wrong. I think you're going higher. I don't think you're going to go lower. You're not going to go to 150. I don't think you're going to go back to that 150 to 160 area. If you do, okay, look for that. Okay, that could be a good area to get back in. I think really you're working up to 190 to 200. That's what I think. You're at 173. I think you're working to 190 to 200. So that's that. Good job. Looks good. OGN, especially after I saw a bunch of topics saying that meme coins are dead. That's probably the best signal to get in, guys. To your favorite meme coin. I saw a crypto banner today had a title saying meme coins are dead, and that whole video was talking about meme coins. So it's just a grabby title, but yeah. Anyways, OGN for go viral or die. Bearish pattern here, flat bottom, descending highs, ugly looking RSI, super ugly, man. I think you're going lower unless you're at a very key area. No, you're not. So yes, lower. You're going to go to about 11 cents to 10 cents, just below 10 cents, just below 11 cents, somewhere around there. That's my thoughts. You're at 13.2 cents now. That one was easy. Thank you. Going lower. Let's give it another. Yeah, I think so. I think yep. Yeah, I'm pretty convinced you're going lower. So that's OGN. Spell is the next one. Not bad on the 4 hour. You might move up a little bit. Let's look at the daily. It's kind of the same look as the other one. The RSI does look pretty bad, but you rejected the 50 and you're looking like you're finding support on the 40. If you can close today green, that actually might be a good thing. It would be really good. It would especially be good if you can close above 0.00838. If you can close above that today, that would be very encouraging, because you engulf yesterday's bearish drop of like 5%. And then just looking like you're finding support on the 40 would be good as well, based off this RSI. But I don't like the daily RSI. I don't mind the 4 hour, but it's not like giving me too much. The weekly, whatever. Weekly is whatever. Let's see. Relative high to low, or low to high. 618 hit, 382 hit. Yeah. Low to high here. 618 being held as support. There is hope for you, sir. So spell, if you go down from here, I'm not going to assume that you go lower than this low. All right, I'm going to delete all the noise, but I'm going to assume that you don't go lower than this low if you go down from here. But I would say that price is around 307. Oh, you're at 3 zeros. Not, I said 208. I meant 3 zeros. I'm sorry. 0.0007 to 0.00734. That would be your area to find your next low at, potentially. If not, if you hold this, I mean, that's a nice look, man. Holding your 6.9, 6.18 area, you just found support on it today, potentially, if you get a nice green close today, and hey, you're moving up as I'm talking about it. Let's just keep giving it that encouragement, man. If you do this here, man, if you can close above 30884, I'm convinced that's your low, and I'm convinced you're moving higher. I don't like your RSI. I don't really like any of the time frames. I do like what you're doing with your fibs, though. And I'm a fib kind of guy, man. So that, I don't know, I kind of put a little weight on that. You've already interacted with your 382. You rejected your 236. That's not good. Damn, man, there's good things and bad things. And most of it's bearish. I'm going to say that I do believe you're going to work your way up to this area and beyond. But first, I think you do move back down to 307 to 3073, somewhere in that area, specifically 30715, 716. I think you move down there, you find support, and then you move up. That's my thoughts. That's my thoughts. Even if today closes green. Now, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong on that. If you want to prove me wrong, just close above 30884. Then I will omit that idea that you go lower. But until then, I mean, not lower than this low, but down in this area here. But until then, I'm convinced you're going lower. So that's spell. Let's talk about POLS. Man, go viral or die. You hit me with the easy one at first, and then that last one was, it looked easy. It almost looked similar, but it's got some good things going for it, I will say. It's got some good things going for it. So does this one. Yeah, let's look at the weekly first. Yeah, buddy, I like that. I think you found your low. Yeah, man. Yes, sir. Looking good, bro. You look great. You're in this consolidation phase right now. You're at the bottom of it, right? You're like anti-Bitcoin right now, where you're at or not Bitcoin, I'm sorry. Which one is it? I guess it's Blue Zell. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. Oh, I'm thinking of pajamas. That's what I'm thinking, where you've got this. I just made a pajamas video. That's why you've got a box here, and you're at the top of it, right? You might be looking to break out. That was my little video recently. But here you're at the bottom of your box. It's probably a good time to get in, if anything. I don't think you're going to go lower. I like that you're holding your 123 weekly moving average. Your weekly RSI, holding above the 40, not looking too bad itself. Higher lows. Looks like a nice kind of trajectory, actually. The daily is looking decent. I think you found your low, man. I don't think you go lower. So with that in mind, relative high to low, we'll see you rather immediately above 84 cents. You're at 74 cents now, so you got a 10-cent pump coming to you. It could happen today. It could happen over the next week or a week and a half or 2 weeks or something like that. I would assume within this month you're going to be back above 84 cents. And then once you break above like $1, essentially when you break above $1, we're looking for prices, let's see. Yeah, once you break above $1, man, the target area to watch would be like $1.72 to $2.22. That's not right now. That would be later. So look for that. You know, first and foremost, we're at 74 cents now. The more immediate target would be 84 cents, I think, 84 to 90 cents probably. And then if you interact positively with that $1 to like $1.10 area, if you can break above that, you're looking for this stuff real soon. But I don't think it's real soon now. I think it's real soon once you break like this area here. As of right now, you know, it could be a couple weeks, a couple months that you're working your way up to that $1 area again, and then you finally break out sometime later. But looking good nonetheless. POLS looking good. I give it the vote of confidence that you found your low. I really like where it is as far as this consolidation. Look at that too. I didn't even consider previous areas of resistance, support, beautiful. It looks great, man. Yes, I like it a lot. I think it looks fine. Polka starter. Oh, that's right. I've heard of this one before. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard of this one. Let's see. Crypto might have more. Nope, that's about it. Kraken. Nope, even less. So we're gonna do this real quick. High to low. Man, you guys, what is this? What is it worth? Market cap wise, Polka starter. You guys, this might, I'm going to look more into this one, but this looks good. I just feel like every time I look at it, like for what it's worth, it's impressing me a little bit more. I love that it got released on Coinbase and just dumped as soon as it did. Nice rounded bottom, beautiful breakout of the trend with volume, holding nice. Like it looks, dude, this looks good, you guys. This looks actually really good. You're at a 74 million, let's just round up, call it $74 million market cap. With a market cap like this coin is 100xable or more, genuinely, by the end of this cycle. It really is. So, like I say, 100xable, $7.4 billion would put it at a 100x in market cap valuation. That would be a $74 price, right? That's a high market cap, but it's achievable. It's definitely achievable, especially for something that's already endured its first bear market. I don't know. Curious, definitely curious. I might have to look into this one myself, man. I don't normally do this, but again, I say this every time I do this. This is the point of these videos. And I mean, I've got them written down here, guys. I've got like 5 coins. In my whole time doing this, I've got 5 coins written down here. But I'm going to look more into this. I'm not buying any. I'll let you guys know if I do buy some. But it is on the grocery shopping list of coins to look at, for me at least. It's caught my eye, not based on a fundamental perspective, but on a technical perspective. I do like where it is in its chart. I like this chart a lot. It's a very new chart. It's very young. I don't normally go for charts like this, but it looks interesting. Yeah. I mean, something like that, man. 100x, a couple 100x, I'd feel pretty all right with just throwing $1,000 at this thing and letting it turn into some decent money. You know, $1,000. It's a lot of money. Nobody would like to lose that much money, but to me, in my opinion, that's not like, it's not going to make or break you, you know. And it could make you if it goes all the way up, but it definitely wouldn't break the bank if it didn't perform well. And I think it would perform well still. I don't think that it's going to just go down. I think it would do well, but it's like, how well would it do? And if $1,000 is unattainable for you, maybe you have $100,000 or, you know, whatever. If you have 100,000, probably don't put all of it in here, right? DCA in, DCA out. If you put 100,000 in all at once, you might pump the price up a little bit on something like this. Where if $1,000 is kind of unattainable for somebody, and you're in that life where like it's hard, man. I get it. I really get it. Money can be hard to save. Even $100, man. 100x on $100, that's $10,000. That's great. You know what I mean? Like that's phenomenal. And if $100 is a lot of money to you, $10,000 will be a lot of money to you. That will get you set up to do things to change your life as well. You know, so just I'm talking about all these things, and in reference to this coin, I don't know anything about it, so I should probably shut up. It could be a scam for all I know. I don't think it is, but not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. If anybody wants to get this coin, look into it yourself. Literally look into it yourself. I'm going to look into it. I don't put money into anything. I don't care how much I like the chart. Well, that's not true. I guess meme coins are there are certain times, but I don't put serious money. I don't talk about things like this and then put money into them if I don't look into them first. That's what I'm trying to say. There are some coins that I've bet on, you know, silly little bets that I get in and out of, but this would be more of like a cycle hold, a long-term hold. I wouldn't recommend that for anybody, and myself included, unless you looked into it first and decided if it was good for you. But enough of all the bureaucracy. That's polls. XTZ Tezos for Keltinger. Yes, we were Tezoing till we Bezos, and then Christopher Green sold the farm on us, didn't he? Can't be right always, and that's okay, man. That's okay. I had no idea that it actually worked its way down like this. I should have known, because most crypto kind of did. It found resistance at an area that's expected to find resistance, right? Like we put a line right here, support, resistance, resistance. That's all it was. So yeah, you moved down, but it's okay. Low to high here, 61869, beautiful, bro. You look great. Weekly RSI, right around the 40. Ooh. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's nothing to this, but maybe you do go a little bit lower. I don't know. At any rate, it still looks nice. Even if you bounce here, it still looks nice because you've got this higher low kind of trend going on. I mean, this weekly RSI, man, it looks really nice. It does look really nice. And I like where you are in the fibs. Let's look at the daily. Daily's looking constructive as well. You need to do well rather immediately though, because if not, if you close today red, this kind of reminds me actually of which was it, OGN for Go Viral or Die. This kind of reminds me of OGN. It's like a cross between OGN and Spell. You need to do good. You need to do well in growing your price like this week. You need to see it. It needs to happen, because if you don't get above like this price here this week, if you can't get above about $1.97 this week, you're at 92.8 cents now. If you can't do that this week and close above for a couple days, if not the week itself, you're going to go lower than this low. And where would you go based off the fibs? I would assume at least to 82.8 cents, if not more likely 75 to 68 cents, something like that. You're at 92 cents now. So if you don't want to see that, start moving up like today, tomorrow, this week. You need to start doing it now. So you're in a precarious placement with your daily RSI. If you were to close the day red, in the following days, it looked like a rejection off your 50, and that did not merit good things for you last time. It didn't over here either. Here, I guess it kind of did. And it's not end-all be-all, that's for sure, but the likelihood, especially with this bearish formation that you have, that you would go down tremendously, not tremendously more, but significantly lower than these lows, it's definitely there. So it just depends on what you do with the coming days. So XTZ, a little bit of a bearish look. I'm not too hopeful. I don't mind where you are in the RSI on the weekly, and that's okay, but for the short term, for the more immediate term, I'm not as hopeful. And I think XTZ, I think Tezos will do fine throughout this cycle. I just think you might not be done with this drop yet. So that's XTZ. Ape. For anybody who's watching this video, because I've had a couple people who watched my Bitcoin Cash video last night, and they were saying, one person in particular was saying that I can't make up my mind, that it just doesn't make sense and I need to focus, or that I'm saying maybe this, maybe that. It's like, dude, I get it. I know what you mean. It's difficult. Imagine being in my head where you literally don't know which way is up. It could go up, it could go down. Like, that's probabilities, man. It's all we're talking about is probabilities. I can say confidently that I think this is going to move up, but there's still a possibility that it could move down, right? There's always that. It might do this, it might do that. That's just the truth. If I say this, it's only going to do this, I'm going to pick a direction. I'm going to be decisive and just pick a direction, and there's no other opportunity to go anywhere else. That's a lie. That's a lie. Even if it happens, it's still a lie, because the possibility of doing the opposite is always there. Now, that might have been a bad example. I don't know if this thing is going to do that exactly. I do think ApeCoin is at its low point. I don't think it's going to go any lower based off of the week. Ooh, actually, I don't know, man. I don't know. But that perfect example. That's why I go back and forth, man, because I will start. I don't look at these charts. Some of them I do before I make videos. Some of them I do, but most of the time I'm just kind of freeballing it, man. I'm going freeform right off the top of my head. So you're getting the analysis as I'm getting it too. We're doing this together. You know, I'm showing you how I do it, and that's part of this channel, is to literally start from scratch. That's why my charts, they rarely. I don't really ever show charts that have things already on there configured. I like to show you guys how I do it, so that if anybody's out there wanting to learn TA, or maybe you've learned TA but you do things differently, you can compare it to me and see the example being done yourself. I like doing calls. I like making price predictions. I love being right. I hate being wrong, all that stuff, right? Not that really matters, but the main point is to kind of show you how I do that. And I can't do that if I have it all pre-planned. You're going to see me explain all these things, but I'm not going to give you the explanation or show you why or how I got to that, right? And you're going to see that. So with that, in any good technical analyst's mind and process, they should always consider multiple sides. So no, none of my analysis, rarely ever, will be specifically decisive to just one direction. I will likely always talk about other possibilities. All the maybes will come out. That's just part of it. But I digress, man. What I'm really trying to say is let's get back to the TA. I forget what even started that. What even started that with that? But let's see. Climbing up here, I like your daily RSI. That's good. I think that is your low. I really do like your daily RSI. You've rejected your 50 a few times, right? And what sets this apart from OGN is that you've rejected it, but you've continued to stay above it. You haven't gotten to your oversold zone. You look good. You're not sloping down. You're like moving sideways, and if anything, you're actually kind of moving up. It looks good. I think it does look good. I think that's your low. You are not in a bearish descending triangle. What you're in is a neutral pattern, what they call a pennant, right? Symmetrical triangle, whatever you want to call it. It's a neutral pattern. Generally, you break out in the direction of the prevailing trend, which would be down in this case, but that's generally being like 60 to 55% of the time, right? So that still leaves a large portion of possibility to the upside as well. So, and I do think, looking at your RSI, I do think you're going to move up higher. I want to look at the weekly one more time here. Being at your relative all-time lows, I mean, you literally double bottom, bro. Ape, you guys, what's Ape's market cap right now? 760 million. I still can't believe, man. If any of my friends are watching this, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make fun of you, but I had a handful of friends, man, who they were all telling me to buy ApeCoin up here, and I'm like, dude, it's gonna go below $8, and it went well below $8. But man, you get a new coin. It just came out, almost a 14x. At a $761 million market cap, a 14x would be essentially, like a $12 billion market cap. I mean, that's insane. And it's maybe like 10 to 12 billion, somewhere in there. For a new coin, that's insane. Get out of here. I don't want to invest in that. I want to invest in the coins that are below $1 billion, which, hey, that's great. This is actually a pretty good area for ApeCoin. I think ApeCoin could do well this cycle, you guys. I really think it could do well. All the prospects, all the intrigue, all the bullish stuff that existed back here before we just slowly pissed on everybody's hopes and dreams, it still exists. ApeCoin is still a thing, man. It's still relevant, right? And bored apes and all that stuff, like it's still a sought after thing in the crypto space. Those NFTs do have value. So I could see this. ApeCoin's kind of like one of the OG NFT coins, if you will. And you guys know how I feel about OG coins of their space, right? Like I like Dogecoin. It's the OG meme coin. Bitcoin's the OG crypto. Ethereum's the OG smart contract coin. Mana is the OG metaverse token, right? Like there's all the OGs. They tend to do well. Binance, the first BNB, it's the first exchange token, and that one's the top of its class as well. USDT, the very first, I'm pretty sure, is the very first dollar tether coin that's ever existed, and it's the top of its class as well. Most of these firsts, it's just kind of how it is. As long as it's not a scam and as long as it remains somewhat usable or relevant, they tend to do well. So I'm just saying, as great as it was, being at a $16 price, whatever, at the height of last cycle, kind of, it's going to be a lot better. This thing genuinely could see, yeah, I think it could see over a 100x. This thing could be worth more than $120 by the end of this cycle. Might be another one, honestly. I'm going to have to write down Ape. I don't even need to write down Ape because I remember it, but I'm going to write down Ape on the shopping list as well. I think this is the first time I've ever had a video where I've written down two on my little notepad there. Again, just because I write it down doesn't mean I'm going to buy it. I have, out of like the 6 that are on there now, I've only bought 2, right? So I might plan to buy it but never buy it. It just depends. It really depends. Like I said earlier, I would love to have more Blue Zells. So sometimes those take more priority. Sometimes the current bags take more priority than new bags. But enough about me, man. Let's talk about ApeCoin. I think it's going up from here. Right, looking good. If you were in a pennant, kind of like this, right? Your measure move, I think it's the height of the pattern. But like the pattern, I guess, wasn't truly formed until like this here, maybe. I don't know. Breakout to like there. Let's just see if that's relevant to any fibs. A little bit higher wouldn't be bad, and this you would put at the point of breakout. So yeah, probably your 618 is where you'd go. $1.80, $1.85 to by the end of this month. Not that you would be here. You could be around $1.85 to $1.98 by the end of this month. You could be. But more so by the end of this month, I would expect that you're breaking out and working your way up there. It might be next month, sometime next month, that you're up there, or even July. It could, it could take longer, but I would think that you're going to move up. You're going to break out to the upside from this. So that's ApeCoin. I hope that helps. Mana and Sandbox. Mana. There we go. On Kraken. Kind of looks a lot like ApeCoin, but more of a descending triangle look, actually. This one reminds me of, was it XTZ, maybe? You're in a position where you need to start doing well today. Because if not, you run the risk of going lower. I don't personally think Mana is going to go lower than this, but I do want to say, guys, for anybody out there like me who's invested in Mana, if it does go lower, it's still okay. Mana shows up late to the cycle anyways, and it does really well late in the cycle. But you're in this kind of grand accumulation phase. As long as you're not breaking out below these lows, I'm not concerned for it. Yes, it always sucks to see your investments go down, but at the same time, it's just an opportunity to scoop up more. I think Mana will do fine this cycle. I absolutely do. We're at 42.6 cents now. It's definitely a 100xable coin, if not beyond that. Looking at the daily RSI, I don't have too much to go off of. 4 hour, it actually kind of looks good with the current candles in mind. It actually does kind of look good. I wonder, what are you doing here? Low? Nope, that was not the low. That's not the low. This, come on. I don't know what that was. It's kind of a good look, actually, you guys. It's actually kind of a good look. Let's see how today closes. I would love to break this lower high structure. Let's see how today closes. I'll make another video on Mana tomorrow, if not the next day. Let's see how the day closes. I kind of feel like it is going to move up, though. And if it does move up, I would assume its next area would be around 55 to 58 cents. 55 to 58. Yeah, I mean 60 cents, 63 cents, I don't know, around there. I suppose, I don't know. Previous areas of support could become resistance. That's my thoughts there, right? Previous resistance, like it wouldn't be crazy to find resistance here at about 57 cents, but also being so close on this line right there, take that line away, you're so close to your golden retracement area, it wouldn't be crazy to go up there too. So I don't know, let's say 55 cents to 63 cents, something like that. That's probably where you're going to go if and when you break out of this, and I do think you will, but time will tell. That's Mana. Sand for BBL. BBLs look weird, man. They're just, no offense if you have one, no offense, but they're weird in my opinion. Kind of productive looking as well on the RSI. You're in a place where, again, just like the rest of these, you're kind of precarious. They all look the same, don't they? You're precariously placed. If you want this thing to break out to the upside, you got to start doing good today, this week. You got to start doing good. If you break below this price, well, you're going down, man. And where are you going to go? I mean, you kind of like Mana, you're in your accumulation range, so I think it's fine. You could really go, you're at 43.6 cents. You could go all the way down to, I mean, go down to 37.5 cents. You could go down to 33 cents. You really wouldn't want to get below that though. But being at 43 cents, you could drop another 10 cents from here and still be fine. Are you going to break lower? I don't think so. I think you will go to the upside, but I could be wrong on that. High to low here. It looks just like Mana, man. They're identical. Let's look for a price, a breakout of this and a movement up to about 60 to 64 cents. They're very identical. It's crazy, but that's the thought. Similar looks, similar targets. You know, yeah. That's what I got for Mana or for Sand. HBAR for some guy. You guys, you're lucky. Some guy that HBAR Hedera. This is not on the Dragon Riders video for Bitcoin Cash, man, because they'd be eating you alive. You guys, I'm going to sell out some guy right now. He already sold out. He sold all his Bitcoin Cash and bought Hedera Hashgraph instead. Which, it hurts my heart to lose a Dragon Rider, but at the same time, I think some guy, correct me if I'm wrong, leave it in the comments, man. You hold BCHG too, right? Or ET, maybe you hold ETCG. I know you always like that one, but I would assume you hold BCHG. If not, whatever. But if you do, that's cool, because then you are still holding a form of Bitcoin Cash in a trusted custodial version. So you're still a Dragon Rider, right? But if not, man, I feel like that's sad. We lost a good one, you guys. But at any rate, hopefully Hedera is going to do well for you. Hopefully you do well with that. I want to look. Let's see. Yeah, I was like, I thought it existed more than that. We're going to use Binance. Can we use the USDT chart? I always prefer to use that if it's got the historical data. We do. We got the references. We're good. Looking good, Hedera. I think back to this day, man. I'm so glad. I don't always catch these pumps when they happen, but I love it whenever we're like right at the top, which whenever I made my video, literally at the top, I was like, we're going to go. I was doing my live stream. I just got back from vacation, right? I was like, we're going to go down. We're probably going to go down. I wonder, I think I called it pretty damn well, actually. Yeah, like literally that would have been the target zone. The minimum, if I made the video, and I haven't looked at it, so I'm just going off of what I know I would say. From low to high, the minimum expectation would be 1240, and then potentially down to this 9 to 10 cent area. You did exactly that, and you're rejecting this 1240 area. You rejected the 382, but you didn't go lower. That's a nice look. I do think, are you in a diamond? You might be in a diamond pattern. Let me look at the weekly. No, I don't think so. No, it's not a diamond. I do think you're moving up, though. I think you're okay. I don't think that you're going to. You're at 11.2 cents on Hedera. I don't think you'll move below that low. I don't really think that you'll go below 10 cents again. It could be a diamond. I don't know. This is what's throwing it off, man. When you get this little like thing in the middle, that normally is like a characteristic of a diamond pattern, but it just doesn't. It almost kind of looks like it here, but then this dip is too much. This rip it's actually kind of perfect, but none of this matches. So anyways, enough head scratching. The daily RSI I like. The 4-hour RSI it's neutral, but I like it. And the weekly RSI also I like. It looks good. So it all looks good. Hedera hash graph, you might be moving sideways as you have been for the time being. That is the safe kind of assumption, but you are getting to those higher readings in the RSI. If you can get above 60 and stay above there and really get toward that 70 area or higher, you might see a breakout. The strength of this move that was sold into, you might see that come to fruition over the coming weeks. I wouldn't assume over the coming days, but over the coming weeks. Anytime now. Let's see here. High to low. Yeah, you're probably just working your way up to about 14 cents to 14.5 cents, and inevitably 22 cents to 28 cents. You're at 11 cents now, so that's decent gains in a short amount of time. Let's see what Hedera can do for you. HBAR worth $4 billion. A $4 billion. High to low. Come on now. There we go. Yeah, I like your weekly RSI a lot. Monthly's getting there. Nice. You're at 11 cents right now. $4 billion in market cap value. That would mean that about here at about $1.10, you would be at a $40 billion market cap valuation. So that's not even your 1272. So I would say you at least achieve a $40 billion market cap valuation. And then that would be around a $90 billion market cap valuation, maybe a little bit higher actually. So yeah, I could see that. I could see HBAR doing from here a 27x, 28x, going up from $1.21 to $3.15, right? Somewhere in there. Let's compare that to BCH real quick, because this is the last one, so we can end it on this note. I'm just going to throw BCH in here real quick. Not a general analysis, but just idea of the highs here. Come on now, buddy. Current price. I expect it to go at least here. I don't know. I don't know, some guy. I don't know, man. I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping that HBAR does. Maybe I'm giving it not the credit it deserves. I hope it does better. There's not enough to go off of, I suppose, for HBAR. But I mean, it could go higher, and you don't have to. You could respect this 1618 and still wick above it, right? Like you really could go all the way up there. But as far as that goes, and then we're talking about $100 billion territory or higher. Do you deserve that? I don't know. I think getting close to 100 billion, not quite reaching it, sounds more appropriate for a coin like this. But I don't know, man. They've got kind of like a deal going on with BlackRock, right? So I mean, that could be the road that's paved in gold to multiple hundreds of billions of dollars in market cap valuation. And at that point, this coin could be a 100x. But that's all ifs and maybes. And, you know, like I know BlackRock, they're using not just Hedera Hashgraph for RWAs. They're using other blockchains too and other means. It just depends on how much traffic they get, I guess, through this, or how utilized it's going to be. I don't know. Time will tell. But anyways, that's all I got. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you want to write some snide BS comment about how I can't make up my mind and the price is going up or down and I'm choosing both sides, it's like, okay, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not sorry. It's the way of the way, man. It's just how it is. You never know, and nobody ever knows. If you think you know where the price is going, just know that you are wrong. You don't. Nobody ever knows where the price is going, and it's important as an analyst to accept and identify multiple possibilities. So if it ever seems like I can't make up my mind, I feel like I do make up my mind, and I feel like I always am very good about telling you where I expect it to go personally. If not, if it's one of those, we're kind of in a in-between phase, it might do this, it might do that, you know, I'll say that too. But that happens. That's not my fault. That's just how it is, man, with the charts. So I don't know, man. I'm going on too much. I'm rambling at this point. I encourage the snide comments. I love it. I love seeing it. But anyways, take care, guys. Have a great day. Hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.